Hey Taurus, it's Amanda, and I'm going to do your love reading for April 2019. And I'm just gonna kind of freestyle this time. I know last time I did the same deck for the whole month, but I'm just gonna kind of do whatever I want this time. Let's do the Rider-Waite to start for you, Taurus. In love. April 2019, Twin Flame, Soulmate, Love Interest. Oops. What does Taurus need to hear the most for April? And the energy is coming up. I don't know what is going on. What does Taurus need to hear the most in love to get through the energies in the best way possible? What does Taurus need to know the most? Focus on the most for April in love. Oh boy. All right, we have Three of Wands in the reverse, Chariot, crowning with the Nine of Pentacles, and the root is Eight of Wands. All right, Taurus, so Three of Wands in reverse, it's like a delay in going forward with some sort of expansion or like plans, taking the next step in some passion you might have, or it's like making a decision too, kind of, though. You can see he's got his hand on one, and then there's the other two behind him. And he's looking out into the horizon to see, okay, what now? Where's the best place to put another one? Looking to go on to the fourth, right? But there's like a blockage of that right now. And something that is kind of either delaying it or stagnating it, kind of making it lesser intensity. And we have the Chariot crossing it. So whatever it is that is blocking it is the Chariot. So maybe it is just kind of being impulsive. We'll kind of build on that in a minute here, though. Your intention is to get into a stable state here. You really want to be independent, and you want to be comfortable. You want to have, money paid. You don't want to be in like a survival state. And you being an earth sign too, that's totally what you want. You want the extra things. You don't need to be like millionaire, but you do want to have nice things, and you don't want to like be worried about bills. This all comes from the root Eight of Wands. So it's like wanting to really just push this forward faster than you need to be. It's like you're in a rush or a hurry. So in the recent past, Four of Pentacles, and in the near future, Ace of Cups in the reverse. So in the recent past, maybe you had kind of taken a break from like friends or group activities. Maybe you had a falling out with them temporarily, or you just kind of wanted to take some time, but it's like an isolation type of holding on. I always think of this as like the baggage card, like holding on to something so tightly because you're so worried you're gonna lose something. It's like being cheap or just so survival mode with money that like you're holding on to every penny because you really are worried about money. So it's like just white knuckling what you do have because you're worried about money. Or just anything that you holding on to something too tight, like baggage, and in a like stressed out state of isolation and kind of stubbornness, right? And when your hands are full of what you're scared to lose, you don't have that like receptivity to receive anything else, because your hands are full of everything from the past or something you just don't want to let go of. It could be like a job or something that you just don't want to be the answer, probably. Baggage, it could just be like a general thing, like a baggage of a situation or whatever it is. In the recent past, you're coming out of this. So it's like maybe you're starting to like come out of that like isolation, and you're like, you know what, I'm done worrying and holding on to everything so tight. I'm just gonna run forward here. But it's like something's getting in your way. and you're really trying to force it. The Chariot is, if you see, he's got like the two at the bottom there, and he is just ready to go. Like he gets on his, I think it's like a horse and buggy type thing, and he is just taken off. Like if he could peel out in that, he'd be peeling out. And it's like almost uncontrollable because it's so impulsive and it's so like head first. It's like full speed ahead and didn't think it through at all for 1 second, just kind of did it, and just reckless, right? And if that's what's blocking you from expanding this, and it came from something to do with a lot of communication, a lot of back and forth, maybe messages, emails, phone calls, could just be a lot going on in a group at once. Everybody's kind of, you know, chimed in and everybody's maybe talking over each other or something. But this is where this all kind of evolved from, this whole blockage of expansion. So maybe you guys are trying to do something. Maybe you're trying to move. Maybe you're trying to, you know, have really good stuff, or you want to finance something. It's like, want to not be in survival mode anymore. That's what you guys maybe are doing as a couple. And then your future Ace of Cups in reverse. So this is like not having the connection, the new beginning connection that you guys had thought, or maybe that you thought. It's like delayed, and maybe it's just not, maybe like this like forcefulness or all this in like back and forth communication kind of like was just too much, and this impulsive Chariot here, maybe it was like pushy or just didn't get thought through in a way that it kind of maybe like stagnated things, because it's like you came out of a state of really being stubborn and isolated and holding on to everything and like fear mentality to wanting to be independent and secure and comfortable, but you can't expand for some reason, and there's all this communication. So maybe something happens with all of that communication that like delays everything. So that's a second delay of a new start, expansion type energy. Let's pull the rest of the spread here. Taurus. Wonder if you're dealing with a Cancer, maybe? The Chariot. Maybe you're trying to leave a Cancer, but maybe you were being held back at one time because you were worried about money, and that's why this intention of independence here. Either that, or if this is like you and your loved one, like you guys just want to be comfortable, you're sick of struggling, and you realize like that holding on tight isolation energy isn't really helping you. So maybe you're just trying to like, once you realize that, you're just like booking it and trying to make things happen once you switch out of that mentality, and it's too much too fast, because it's like it turns the cup up, spills it out. You have to wait for it to fill up again, or I don't know. Maybe, and if it is you with somebody, then you're maybe like trying to leave. I feel like it's either Cancer or a water sign. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Ooh. Okay. Well, where you are right now in the stages of this situation is Justice. So you just want what's yours, and you just want what you know you've worked for, and you don't want to struggle, and you just want everything to be fair. You're not trying to get anything over anybody. You want balance. You want the truth. You want fairness. That's where you're at right now, Taurus. Like you're ready to be real, and you're done holding on, and you're done living in like isolation and fear of lack mentality. Like you're done with that. You realize that doesn't serve you now, and it's like you went from 0 to 100 once you realize. And you just want things to be leveled out. You want the scales to be balanced and everything to just be right and fair to everybody. Like you want to get things in line really fast. Where is your environment energetically at, Taurus? for April 2019 in love. What's going on in your environment? Yeah, maybe you really are trying to, I feel like this, if you're a Taurus and this is resonating so far, like I think you want to either leave the one you're with and just kind of go off on your own, but you're just worried that you won't be able to do it financially, whatever, or something to do with physical property or something. Or you guys are going through like some court case, something where it's stopping you from going forth with, like, maybe you guys own a business together. It's the only if it isn't you trying to, like, knowing you want to leave somebody, then I feel like you guys are going through like maybe a lawsuit with your like business, or just some stupid legal matter. It's not like a big deal, I don't feel, that's just like slowing you down from this expansion that you really want to go ahead with after you get out of that like stuck state and like clenching onto things. It's like then there's this justice, but that's what's going on right now. Maybe things are finally getting leveled out. Your environment's 2 of Wands in reverse. So whoever is in your environment, or like maybe your home life or family or whatever is in your everyday surroundings, it's like not making a choice and like not able to keep going. Like they're just not motivated. They don't want to do this anymore. They're not interested. Like they lost. I feel like this is for somebody trying to leave a Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio. It's like your environment is just not doing it for you anymore. Whether this is maybe you're dealing with a fire sign, because if it's not a water sign, it might be a fire sign, because this Wands and this is the root. So maybe a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sag, maybe they kind of like didn't turn out to be who you thought they would be. Maybe maybe you get like a whole bunch of drama from them, or just a lot of communication, and it makes you kind of be like, hey, I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep going on this with you. Maybe you have to push something forward in order to do it because you know it's what you need to do, even if it might not be super like you probably want to have like everything all set up. You're a Taurus, right? You probably want to have everything all set up and like ducks in a line and like all the security all ready to go before you do anything. And I think, you know, like because of whatever information you got that caused all of this and made you realize that whatever expansion you were trying to go forth with, or plans you had, a next step you wanted to take, like all of a sudden came to like a delay or a halt, or there was something that kind of got in your way. And it was something like money. It had to have something to do with money, or just holding on to something like an old belief, or if it's your partner, it's their stubborn ways and they just won't work with you. But there's like communication that comes in, and that's what causes all of this. So you hear about, they either say a bunch of stuff and like let it all out and the truth comes out, and like it just occurs to you after whatever that information or conversation is, like that this is just not going to work. Or you hear something from somebody when you were in a state where you were like kind of isolating yourself and really like holding on to things and fear of losing everything. Like that's when you got some information, and that's when you flipped into the Chariot mode, and realized that you want your independence and security, and you're gonna get it, and that you want this to be over. This Ace of Cups, this is in the near future, so it's like there isn't going to be, or a really big delay of some like emotionally fulfilling beginning. It's like a new cup. It's like the first, like, you know, it's like the first toast of a night of toasts, or like offering that love, that cup out, that first move, the person who initiates the love. Like, you know, it's like, okay, well now it's getting poured out because of something you hear or a conversation that happens, and it snaps you right out of this Four of Pentacles. and it's like you have an epiphany because of some combo or information you hear through the grapevine, and it like you want to peel out once you realize or hear this, and you're like, oh, that changes everything kind of thing. And it might be a Cancer that tells you this. Maybe it's not the person you're with right now. Maybe the Cancer is the one that tells you. But it pours that cup right out, and you're ready to get down to business and get things taken care of in a moral way. And then whether this is the fire sign or whoever, they're like, you realize they're not working with you. Like, they have an option, but they already know which way they're gonna go. See them? Like, they're not willing to compromise in like a relationship, you know, like it's a two people thing, you know, it takes two to tango. So if one person's not really in it, it's like you're seeing that now. You're seeing that they're not putting in the effort, and they're not like, they're just like kind of full of crap, because it's like they are in this role and they're like not doing what they're supposed to be. They're not choosing the crossroads. They're not like in alignment because they're not working with you, but they're with you or whatever. It's like they're not supporting you. They're not working with you. They're not doing their end or whatever, for whatever reason. And Queen of Pentacles is the hopes and fears. So Taurus, this is definitely you just worrying about not being able to hold it down financially. So it's like you are worried that this is all gonna fall apart and you won't be secure. It's number one for Taurus, right? Maybe you're worried about just being alone. But you were already doing that, and you already kind of were there, whether you were technically or not. You were energetically, and you just came out of that, or you are soon, because this is recent past. So it's like you already did that. And so it's like maybe that's why you kind of were able to see something through that and get out of it. It turns into the Chariot, so. And behind all of this, you just want to be secure. You just want to be, you don't want to be in like survival mode. You don't want to have to worry about every little penny and deplete all of the other things that you care about because you have to survive, or like suffer through this because you aren't sure you can do it alone and move and do all that, or whatever this is. Like, it's like you're worried this is going to turn you upside down and you're not going to be that Queen of Pentacles you want to be. Maybe it's like maybe you're worried about like when you do this, or even if it's not leaving somebody, like maybe you're worried like because you see now the unequal effort happening, and this information brings something up to where like your inside world is kind of not in abundance. Like you aren't as confident, you aren't as just emotionally secure, because Queen of Pentacles is like an inward security. So it's like knowing and having confidence that you can do this and you'll do whatever it takes and it's all gonna be fine or whatever. It's like you're worried about that. You're worried about, well, maybe I shouldn't do that, or I'll end up being alone, or I'll regret it, or I'm not gonna be able to fill in the blank. But it's just hopes and fears, so, you know, try not to fixate on that. Let's see, what's the outcome, Taurus, in love, April 2019? If all these energies persist as so, what would be the outcome for Taurus in love, April? Oh, okay, Emperor. All right, you're gonna be fine. This is awesome. Okay, so this flew right out conveniently and like face up too, so it was definitely in the upright. The Emperor. So things are gonna start happening. You're gonna start putting things into action, and you're gonna know just how to do it and how to get it organized and how to orchestrate it. Like things are gonna physically be built, and like you're going to be the Emperor. Like this is, he very intelligently and morally makes physical things happen, and like he gets it done. And that's all about it for Taurus, right? Like I'm sure that you love that. Like you're gonna be okay. Like don't worry. Don't worry about what's gonna happen, whether it's like you know, leaving someone, or whether it is just that like you guys are together and like some news comes in about some weird lawsuit or something, like something happening. Maybe it's just like some little thing where you gotta wait like some time, like some technicality stuff or whatever it is. Like it's like something happened and it really put a like roadblock in there, and it just like spilled your cup. Like you have to wait now, and like you kind of got that like two of wands in reverse in the environment, like resistance from whatever, and things are just getting settled for whatever reason. Maybe you're going through a settlement, like I don't know, something to do with money though. Like something happens, you hear something, you find something out, you get something in the mail, somebody calls you, you run into somebody and they tell you something, whatever it is, whatever this information is or epiphany, it turns you right out of this state, the gray skies and all alone, holding on to everything so tight, and it like full blast out of it, and you just want to build, and you want to get over this roadblock. Like you want to not be held back right now. Like you are like making plans. Like that's what the Emperor does, right? That's what he does. Like he makes plans, he's ready to go. Like bright yellow skies, like he wants to get it going. Like he already has it starting to work already. Like it's like the first stages of seeing like success of something and being like, all right, well I can actually expand now. And then right when you thought you could, something happened, something raced in. It was like some fine race in, or some sort of like financial obligation charged in recklessly, unexpectedly, and it totally threw you off, and it totally meant that you couldn't do this yet. Something financial, like I don't know what comes up, but like maybe you had just finally gotten to a stable financial point and like thought everything was starting to level out, and then oops, just kidding, something else that you didn't think of or that you didn't know about came up and kind of stopped you, or there was more fines involved than you had even dreamed when you were thinking, and of where your next move would be. Something weird with finances comes in like unexpectedly and throws you off, and you just wanted to get this going, and you just, you know, you're just doing what you would do, but something comes up like incoming, and it halts your expansion plans. And you know, I wouldn't fret it too much, because whatever it is, it's like something's going to be justified. It'll level out, or it's just a delay. It'll balance out, and it's not out of the question yet. Like whatever isn't blocking you in your environment, whether it's this person not working with you or this financial setback that you didn't see coming, it doesn't matter, because as long as you can stay focused and keep this, because this is what I like about it, Taurus, like this is your intention, and this is like what's on your mind and what you want, and it doesn't really seem like you're focusing on the bad, because the only one that's kind of a negative card is this Four of Pentacles, and it's in the past. Like this is already going to be over with, like done, can't do anything about this one, like this one's over, but you're snapping out of this energy because of an epiphany, or something happens and it like switches your mode, and you're like, oh man, I just got to be secure, I gotta be able to do this, like let's do this, like I gotta go, like I can't be messing around holding on things tight away from everybody in my head. Like I'm not doing that anymore, there's no time for it now because of whatever you find out or hear. Like your intentions are good, and it doesn't seem like your focus is in like the wrong place. Like I don't think you're like focusing on all the bad stuff. If your environment isn't the best, like there could be just hurdles, or it's just somebody not working with you equally. But don't let this Queen of Pentacles scare you off in reverse, because it's just what your fear is. It's just what you're, you know, really hoping doesn't happen. Try not to think about it too much. I don't think you really will. I just don't get that feeling here, but it's like you have this mindset and intention, and that's everything. Intention's number one, and so that is going to manifest 100%. And if you just keep that mindset, then your Emperor is going to come in and start, you know, he's going to come through eventually here. It might just be a delay, really annoying delay for whatever reason, but in the Three of Wands, Emperor, he's going to be able to do that. The one standing there looking out into the horizon, you know, thinking where he wants to place a new wand, He's gonna come in and he's gonna be able to do it. It's just not gonna be right away. You're gonna have to wait. Something's gonna happen. You're gonna find out soon. Whether it's somebody calls you or this letter or whatever news you get about some finances. So it's kind of boring, but of course Taurus gets this reading too. It's all about money. Like, it's like, no, it's supposed to be law, but Taurus is like all about the financial security and like luxurious things, and especially if you have something going on where you can like build on it and it's already kind of showing some success. Like, the last thing you want in the world is to be held back, because when you move, and so doesn't, you don't move very fast. Taurus technically don't most of the time, but when they do, it's like, watch out. Bottom of the deck was the Two of Pentacles in reverse. It's like having a little bit of a lack of balance, being not really, see, this has got to be money. If you're with somebody and you're not leaving them, you guys are having some financial issues come up. If you are not in that situation and you're leaving somebody, it's like, you just don't know how to do this alone yet, but you got it. And it's like one of those things, like, am I just gonna try to tough it out and hope that nothing worse happens and things end up bad, or you end up having to leave, fight, and like then everybody's fighting over property or whatever it is, like, or you're just like, oh, what do I do? Can I do it yet, or can I not do it yet, or what should I do, or am I just jumping the gun? Like, whatever it is, there's like a lack of ability to balance the new things being thrown at you because you're like not expecting it, right? So you weren't ready to have to think about balancing this. It's like a decision, a choice, but a lack of feeling confident that you can do it, or is it even a thing that is possible? It's like up in the air, right? Something happens that you weren't expecting. Either situation it is for Taurus. I want to pull an oracle card. This was a clear reading for me. I don't need to clarify anything. I mean, it's either one or the other. You're either with a partner and you got financial issues come up, or you're trying to get out of Dodge. You just don't know. You're not confident about it. You're worried about money. Maybe a little insecurities too, with like, am I gonna be okay alone, or But no, you're gonna be fine. Just focus on what you are right now. Your intention right now, that independence, that positive goal that you have that is in alignment. Like, focus on that as much as you can. Try not to worry too much about if you're gonna be okay. Would be my best advice. Do what feels best to you, but try not to let this info freak you out and put you in a fear state. What's the end card here for Taurus, April 2019? It's an end advice card for Taurus in love. Some advice in this situation here in love. What can they do to get through this the best and keep that Emperor in the outcome, if that's what you want? Sure it is though, Taurus. You want to make things happen physically, tangibly. That's what the Emperor is. He knows where those wands need to go, and he's gonna put them there once whatever this is gets out of the way. All right, let's cut it. Crossing bridges. It's time for healing, connecting, mending, and releasing. So this is the bridge between what you just snapped out of, or will be snapping out of once you learn or hear something, and where that this inner security and abundance and comfort is going to come from. That is the bridge. So, I mean, it seems like you've already gotten over the hurdle here. The hurdle will be when you hear this stuff. It's going to throw you off, but it's probably a good thing because it ends up being the Emperor. It's time for healing, connecting, mending, and releasing. So I feel like either situation this is, whether it's an unexpected financial issue holding you back, or you not sure if you can like financially leave somebody, it's like heal. Don't rush through the part that doesn't feel good. It's going to feel like that's what you want to do. I'm sure after you hear or learn this info, just try to go through that stage, even though obviously your initial reaction is going to be to resist that. Go through that. It's going to make this delay shorter. It's the bridge. Like, you have to go through that healing, the water under the bridge, right? You have to do that. Otherwise, you're just going to drag out this delay. And on the other side is awesome. There's a reason why you're crossing the bridge, right? So don't try to jump over it. Just cross it one step at a time. Release. Talk to people that you care about and trust. Connect with them. Maybe if there's an apology due, or vice versa, be open to that. Release. Let it go. Level things out. You're already about that though right now, so I think that will come naturally, Taurus. Yeah, crossing bridges. So, if that's you wondering if you should do something and go a different way, crossing bridges. Follow your heart. Your intention's in the right place, and so are your morals. You're ready to be fair. You're ready to just kind of get things going and even this playing field out and just do what is right overall and stop messing around with that, because you've been holding on tight and you're ready to get out of that, especially after whatever you find out. So I hope that helps, Taurus, and please let me know in the comments if that resonates, because this is intense. But you're gonna be good. Emperor. It's one of the best cards, especially for a Taurus, and Major Arcana too. So that's heavy set. More influence. So have a great rest of the month and a good April, and thanks for liking too and subscribing, and I'll see you soon. Thanks.